Hi, grade 11s. My name is Mrs. Sharma. I'm the new counselor here at Delview. I'm here to talk about course selection. Yes, the time has come. Many of you probably remember from last year, there's a lot of information that's going to be coming your way. I know it might seem like a lot, but it's important stuff. So bear with us. Also, unfortunately, I can't do this live. It has to be this recorded session or presentation. But the good news is, for those of you who may tune me out a little bit, or for those of you who missed some information, you'll be able to see the recorded version on the Delview website. Having said that, the stuff I'm about to talk about is super important for you to start thinking about now that you're grade 11s going into grade 12. There's a lot of questions around graduation requirements, post-secondary requirements, and in general, what courses are going to be offered next year. So how this is going to work is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through the presentation. You won't see me, but you'll hear my voice. I wish it could be different, but it isn't. It is what it is at this point. But if you have any questions after, you feel free to talk to your counselors. As you're going through this presentation, have a piece of paper and pen ready if you need to write down any questions that might pop up during this presentation. The one thing I'm going to show you, and I'll show you at the end, on the website too, but I just want to show you, this is going to be your friend for a little while. This is a course planning guide, and it has a description of all the classes that are available. It talks about graduation requirements, so you can go there and find the information that you need. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So I am now going to share my screen, and then we will go from there. So, just give me a second. There we go. Okay. So like I said, it's time for course selection. Today, what we're going to do is you're going to hear a lot of me talking about courses, grad, and all that good stuff. You're going to get that information. You're then, over the next couple of days, you're going to get another presentation done by Miss Abad, who will talk more about the post-secondary and life after high school, possibly some scholarship stuff. So you're going to get two presentations that are pretty close in time, but with a lot of rich information. There's also a role that you're going to play in this. So after this presentation, it's really important that you start to do some research. The course planning guidebook that I showed you, it's important that you go through that, talk to your teachers, start thinking about what you want to do after. Some of you might have already thought about this, but for those who haven't, start thinking about what you want to do after high school. Check prerequisites for the courses. What are the graduation requirements, but what also do you have left that you need for graduation? And then your post-secondary requirements. What kind of programs do you want to do? Do you want to do post-secondary? And if you do, what courses do you have to make sure that you have in your schedule to make that happen? You're going to have opportunities to talk to your parents, to your teachers, to your friends. And also, of course, you can always come talk to your counselor and Miss Abad. It's really important that when making your decisions, you think about things. I talked about where you're going to get your information, whether the course planning book or your counselors, teachers, parents, friends, the internet, right? The websites. That's where you get your information. But you also want to be realistic about things, and you want to think about what your needs are. It's so tempting to want to take courses with just your friends and have fun, which is great. It's an important part of high school, but at the same time, you have to think about what you need or be realistic about your own future. Is the course you're choosing really the best course for you, or are you taking it just because you think it'll be an easy course or a course that your friends are taking? There's lots of room to try different things. Just think about what you need, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and make your decisions based on the information you have and thinking about your own interests, your own strengths, what the plan after graduation is. So we'll get into talking about your general grad requirements. A lot of you have probably been hearing this maybe since grade 10, but you need 80 credits minimum to graduate. So an average student, there usually graduates with 96 to 100, some higher, some lower, but 80 is what you need. And each course is worth 4 credits. So here are your graduation requirements that you need. So I want to emphasize, you could have 150 credits, but if you're missing one of these grade courses, you will not graduate. So make sure you are able, when you check your requirements, make sure you're able to check off all of these. And if you can't, those are going to be the priority courses for next year. So you need a Math 10 and a Math 11. A Socials 10, Socials 11. You can use some Socials 12 courses for your grade 11 credit. Science 10, Science 11 again, or 12. You need PE up until grade 10. Career Life Education 11. English. And English, you'll notice, is the only subject which you need to take it all 3 years. So you need a 10, 11, and 12. Then you need 3 grade 12 courses. These can be any grade 12 courses. So all your electives for graduation, any grade 12 course counts. The other one is Career Life and Capstone. Now, please note, this is not in your timetable. It's something that Mr. Burt will talk to all the grade 12s about. He's usually the one that is in charge of that, and he'll be able to lay out what the expectations are. But it usually reflects your interests, your strengths, and then you get to do this like passion project at the end, which is through Capstone. But Mr. Burt will share more details with that. And then you need 5 electives, any 5 from grade 10, 11, or 12. One of those must be an arts education or ADST. So one of the 5 electives has to fall under that, and the other 4 you can take whatever you need. I wouldn't be surprised if many of you have already taken one of those courses in grade 10. If not, it's okay. There's lots of opportunity, but don't be surprised if you've already done it, because that's an easy one to check off. What else can I tell you? So numeracy assessment, most of you have probably already done that last year. And the literacy assessment, you'll have a grade 10 one and a grade 12 one. So these are all the things that you need for graduation. These are not Delview secondary requirements. This is the Ministry of Education. So the province of BC requires you to have these courses in order to graduate. Okay, so you know how many credits you need. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I get these credits? Well, part of it is doing what you're doing. You're going to school, the subjects that you're taking, that all works towards your 80 credits. There are some other options of getting more credits if you need it. Online courses is an option. Um, Summer school. Now, sometimes you may think typically students take summer school because they weren't able to get through the class, so they're repeating it. Yes, that's true, and that's an opportunity to do that. But some people go to summer school to lighten their load also. So if you want to get ahead and take a class, we don't have the information for summer school just yet. So as soon as we hear, we will share that information with you. Another way of getting credits is the government actually gives certain programs credits that you can get by participating in those organizations, like life-saving, coaching. There's a driver's ed, and I think that's an ICBC accredited program. So lots, take a look, you can take a look at the list, and there may be more. Things may have changed on this, but talk to your counselor, and you can talk to your organization too. They would know more information if you do get credits. This is usually more like higher level of, for example, sports. You're at the provincial or national levels, and it's not just if you're playing sports for fun kind of deal. Other ways to get credits are through the career programs here at Delview. We've got work experience, we've got the youth work in trades and the youth train in trades. I will talk about a little bit about that more in the next slide. But the other ways, there's a language challenge exam that you can take to get some language credits for grade 11 and 12. Now, I just want to emphasize, this isn't like you're having a casual conversation in a different language with, your parents. This is if you think you can write. It's called a challenge exam. So it's something that a language that you're proficient in, that you think you are able to get a language 11 or 12 credit in place of taking the actual course. And if you need more information on that, or if that doesn't make sense, just talk to your counselor and we can explain. The other thing is, if you are proficient in a language from another country and you have lived there and you've gone up to from grade 7 to 9 in another language, let's talk about it, because we might be able to get you some credits there too. So there's lots of ways to get your magic number of 80. So the career programs I was telling you about, so what the career programs are is like work experience. For example, you take a voluntary position, try out a job, you get your work experience, but as you accumulate your hours, and I think it's about 90 hours that you need, that all works towards getting credit for part of that magic number of 80. You get credit towards that. Youth work in trades, that's an apprenticeship program, and while you're at school, you'll work with a journey person. I think you can get anywhere up to, I think it's about 16 credits there. But again, if that's something that interests you, we can talk about it. I think this year it's Mr. Burt who looks after the career program. So you're always welcome to go to him and ask him any questions. I do want to highlight, there is a new program. It's the Early Childhood Education program. And in that, along with actually many of the other programs, it's what's considered a dual credit program. So while you take the program, you get your credits for high school, but then you also can build up to your post-secondary, wherever you're going, credits for that. This might sound confusing, so let me just give you an example. With the Early Childhood Education program, your courses will count towards like a ECE assistant certificate program. So you can work towards that certificate, but you also get your credits for high school. So again, some of these programs are a dual credit opportunity. So it's, again, if it's something that interests you, this is the website, deltalearns.ca/careers. You can read about it and you can talk to Mr. Burt or one of your counselors. Okay, I talked a little bit about online courses and getting credits through that, but there are some things that you should know with online courses. You need to be an independent learner. You need to be self-motivated and organized. You should be able to keep deadlines if you want to do a course online. It's really easy as students if we're not held accountable sometimes with our deadlines. It's easy to be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it next week. Okay, I've got lots of time to complete the assignments. And then before you know it, it's at the end of the course and you realized, oh my goodness, I haven't done anything. So really keep that in mind when you decide to take an online course. With Delta Access, when you register online, they will email your counselor to confirm, because there are situations where you can't do online courses. For example, if you're taking the course at the same time at Delview, then that wouldn't be approved for you to do that. The other thing to note is you do not get a study block in lieu of your online course. Also, universities want to see a final grade by March of your grade 12 year. So if you are using the online courses as part of your GPA calculation, keep that in mind. It needs to be complete by March. Okay, now at this point I would have stopped. I would have asked you if you had any questions. I can't do that, so I'm just going to keep going. Take a breather. I know this was a lot of information, and sometimes when you're talking, you give more information than might be needed, but I am going to just keep trekking through this. Hope you guys are still with me. So the first one we're going to talk about is that English requirement that we had mentioned earlier. So you are required to take one English studies course. So as you can see here, you have two options. You can take English studies or English First Peoples. Both of them are considered equal. So whatever interests you, you can choose either one of those. One is not better than the other, or it's not that one counts more than the other. They're both equal. You do have options of the 3 electives, but the electives don't fall under your English 12 credits. So remember, you need to take one of the required English courses, and then you can choose an elective if that's what you'd like to do. So with social studies, as if you can remember, I had said you could take a grade 12 social studies and that'll count as your socials 11 credit. Or you can just take social studies 11. You have options. I'm not going to go through each one of these and talk about what the individual courses are. If you are interested in the course planning guide is going to be your best friend. I want you to go to it, read it. It's available to you. You know where the website is. I'll show you at the end how to find it. But I am going to highlight some of the new courses that hasn't been offered before. So physical geography, right here, you see it bolded. That is a new course that we are looking to offer. And a little synopsis of it is it's a course that looks at real world issues in terms of the earth and how the earth works and our relationship with it. If you want more info, go to that handy course planning guide. Considering the times we're living in, it might be a good course to consider. The other thing I want to point out is your psychology 11 and 12. Even though it's approved as an elective, psychology does not count as your social studies requirement. Okay, I just want to make note of that so you guys don't think that Psych 11 or 12 might count towards this. It's this side of the list, the one I'm circling, as you can see. Okay, so moving on. Let me see. So again, sciences for graduation, all you need is a Science 11. So I've listed them down here. So this, if you've taken any of these, you've met that requirement. However, if you have an interest in science and you're taking it this year, or if your post-secondary program requires it, you have the option of these three sciences. So anatomy and physiology, chemistry, and physics. That's what we offer at Delview. Math is similar. You need a Math 11 that for graduation. So that could have been workplace math, foundations math, pre-calculus, any of those meet the requirement. It becomes an elective in grade 12. So foundations math 12, pre-calculus, or calculus. Now, the one thing I want to emphasize here is make sure you speak to preferably your math teacher or someone who has knowledge around math with what pathway you should take. So for example, calculus is not going to be appropriate for everyone, or pre-calc or foundations. So if you're unsure of where you fit in or what math you should take, please talk to your math teacher and see what they say. Because, and also your post-secondary, because not all programs require pre-calculus, and not all programs require foundations too. So it's really looking at where you plan on going and what you need to do. So math is a tricky one because it's you really want to make sure you're on the right pathway to your skills and abilities. Now, how many of you thought you needed a language to graduate? Well, I obviously can't see who's answering, but I want to say that that is one of the most common questions I get when talking about languages and post-secondary is, do you need a language to graduate? And the answer to that is no. You do not need a language to graduate high school. I know I've just repeated that 3 times, but I really want you to know that you don't. But if you're planning on going to university afterwards or certain programs in college, a second language may be required. So you do have options if you're looking into that and you realize, I didn't take a language. We do offer a beginner Spanish course, Spanish 11 and Spanish 12. And at the same time, if you're in the French stream, a French 10, French 11, French 12, all meet those requirements. Okay, so again, it's about you doing your research and knowing what you need. So talking about some of the electives, we've got our media arts courses, anything from animation to film to photography. There's lots of variety. Take a look at that course planning guide that I've repeated how many times now. One thing to note here, yearbook 12, that is outside your timetable. So if you do select that, just keep that in mind. It's considered an X block. Moving on, we got visual arts. Now, if you are interested in drawing, painting, ceramics, sculpture, I know there's lots of other things that they do too. If you like to express your creativity, take a look at the visual arts in that course planning guide and read about the courses that you can take. All right, business ed. Now, all the electives in business education, they reflect some aspect of business. You may learn about running a business, to web design, or learning about programming. So yeah, if that interests you, make sure you read about it and think about it. Home economics. If you've ever thought about developing culinary skills and techniques, if you like trying a variety of foods or cuisines, if you enjoy fashion design, or you just like to sew or be crafty, if you want to learn about relationships, sexuality, eating disorders, or human development, you want to read about the home economics courses. We offer food studies, child development and caregiving, and textiles. So take a look at those if those interest you. Next, we've got our PE courses. You see the options here for active living, fit for life, fitness and conditioning. Those are all the courses that you've had in previous years. The one new one that I want to highlight is the volleyball and fitness concepts. Now, this is a course designed for recreational or competitive volleyball players. Well, not just players, anyone that wants to participate in it. But the one thing to know is the classes begin at 7 a.m. So this, if you are choosing that, you'll be, class, I guess, yeah, class would start at 7 in the morning for this course. Okay, I just wanted to highlight that. Technology education. So again, if you're interested in things, and these are things I'm giving are just examples. They're by no means the only things you'll be doing. I just can't go through everything. So I want you to get a sense of what the courses are like. So when I was saying with woodworking, there's things like you can learn about, or you can actually make cabinets. So cabinet making. What else? We've got designing, a custom home, a plan for that, or learning about robotics. Those are all things that, if it piques your interest, then take a look at the course planning guide. Next up, we have our theater. Theater includes drama, dance, and film. So the first thing I'll highlight is where you see the asterisks with directing and script writing here, theater company and theater production. These are all things that happen after school. So they're not in your regular timetable. And then if you're interested in dance, also it's a fun class, no skills needed. And so anyone can try it. There's lots of different types of dances that you will learn. So if you have that side of you that wants to participate in this, take a look at the course planning guide, like I've said a million times so far, and you can read more about what each of these courses offer and if it's a fit for you and what you're interested in. So I'll just let you read some of these courses over. Okay. The other thing that we have at Delview is our band. So the band happens in the morning before school, and it runs all year. And the other course that you have an option to select is an instrument and guitar class. And this is for all levels of playing. So if you have an instrument that you're interested in, this is a class for you. Okay, some other options we have at Delview is to as far as courses are related, is to courses that revolve around helping others. You've got leadership 12, which does have an application process, and just to note that you would be required to participate in events and be like a role model, especially for the younger grades. So that's something I want you to think about, and think about your personality, and if you have that, if you have those qualities of being a good role model to participate in leadership. The other course is peer tutoring, which you would help younger grades and help the teacher with various tasks in specific classes. Peer tutoring happens with, you will ask for the peer tutoring block, but it's the admin and the counselors who will pair you up with the teacher. So we place you with your peer tutoring teacher. And another option is the Library 11. The other programs we have at Delview, if you need extra support, we've got Strategies for Learning and we have ELL. So again, if you think this is appropriate for you and you need some extra support, talk to your counselor and we can try to put that into your schedule. Okay, let me see. I think we got through most of the courses, so we're almost there. Bear with me. I wish I could see your reactions right now, but I am just going to trek along. District academies. These are basically academies run by the district. They're done at different venues. Take a look at it. Here is the website. When I post this on the Delview website, this is a hyperlink. So you'll be able to click it and go to the website and it'll just, it'll just show you what you need. Let me see if it actually, if I can make it happen now. Okay, yeah, so it just takes you straight to the district academies. And if you want to read about it or whatnot, you definitely can. Okay. Now I included this because I think it's important. Whether COVID or not, our mental health is important. And while school can be stressful, it's even more stressful during a pandemic. So I want you to be aware of your stressors, know yourselves, make sure you're taking care of yourselves. If you need support, please reach out. Sometimes it's difficult to do. So if you can't reach out right away, then any of these apps have, depending on what the issue is, have ways to support your mental health. So again, once this is up on the Delview website, you will be able to link, just click on it and it will take you to the website. I don't know how long that'll last for, but you can always write these down too and then Google it and seek support that way. Okay, I won't spend too much time on this, but you are important and your mental health is important. So make sure you're taking care of yourself during these times. Right. So just going back to reiterate, we're nearly done. You're going to pick your courses. What's going to happen? Okay, grade 11s. I had some technical difficulties. Apparently, Mrs. Sharma needs to take some of our computer classes here at Delview, but I am just adding this clip in so I could show you what I was trying to show you is the Delview website. So there's the section you're going to go to is course planning, and then you will take a look at all the things that are going to help you make your decisions around courses. So this here is logging into My Ed. Most of you have already done this by now, but if you need a reminder, here it is. And it also has little reminders of things like make sure you hit post at the end of your selection to complete the process and things like that. So you can take a look. What else? And then your graduation requirements. This sheet here is something that you can even use to see what courses you've got. You can check it off, cross it off, and then whatever's left, you know, okay, I still need these particular courses for graduation. So this is a great sheet that you can use. And this one here that I'm highlighting, oops, Delview course planning book. This is the one we keep referring to. And as you can see, it's got everything you would need to plan your courses. from graduation requirements to each course description through this. I'm obviously just scrolling through it. You can take a look at your own pace. And this one here, this grade 12 worksheet, this is going to be useful to you before going on to MyEd and selecting your courses. So this gives you an idea. It tells you as a grade 12 student what you need, right? Graduation requirements we've already talked about, but it's telling you the credits that you need. And then this helps you plan accordingly. So you know you need to take your English. Then you list off your 7 electives. Right here, the alternate courses. We ask for alternate courses because even though we would love to give you your chosen 7 courses, as you know, it doesn't always work that way for whatever reason. Sometimes not enough people select a course and we may not be able to offer it. So because of that, we ask for 2 alternates. Put your alternates in order of your preference. So if we go through this list up from 1 to 7 and number 7 we can't give you, we are going to go to your alternate 1 and try to give you that. So if you have a preference, put it in 1 and then your second preference in 2. And then student services. If you are currently in any of our programs that we talked about, like LST or ELL, or have spoken to a counselor about entering one, there will be a section where you can check mark Student Services 12 as one of your 7 courses. So then please make sure you do select that if it's appropriate for you. And then these again are just the list of all the electives. You've got lots of choice, there's lots of variety. So start thinking about it. And now I'm going to stop and go back to the original presentation. Hopefully I've made it clear and emphasize what we need to of how to pick your courses, how to be prepared, because what's going to happen is we're going to start once course selection opens. We will have a couple of days where we bring you in the computer lab just to make sure that the courses are in correctly. But you will have opportunity to make changes up until March 4th. So you can do it before, but we will follow up in the computer lab and make sure that it was done. Or if anyone needs help, we'll be able to help you at that time. Once we set the dates of which dates we're going to be meeting in the computer lab, we will let you know. Just going to stop the share so maybe you guys can see me a little before we end. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, so we'll meet with you in the computer lab and we can go over it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There will be a parent night that on February 16th in the evening, and we'll go over some mostly the same information around course selection. You are welcome to be a part of that too if you feel like you have questions or you need to hear the information again. That's not a problem. Yeah, so I hope that this helps a little bit. I know it was a lot of information, so way to go for sticking through it. I look forward to meeting all of you. For those of you who haven't met me yet, please come say hi. I look forward to getting a chance to get to know you. Good luck with course selection. Take care.